Super excited to announce a new partner that I'm working with, Meat Locker Official. They are a meat company. They ship all kinds of meat. Go check out their website, meatlocker.com. It's amazing. Man, let me tell you, the bacon. The bacon's the best bacon I've ever had in my life. All the other meats are very good. I had a nice ribeye the other day, chicken breast, all kinds of stuff. The steaks and the bacon, though, for sure the best bacon I've ever had in my life. Meatlocker.com. Type in the code name Easton 2019. EASTON 2019, and you will receive 15% off of your order. Again, meatlocker.com. Get some bacon. Evo Labs products. Man, I love a couple of Evo Labs products that I like to use. I like to use their skin repair and intensive salve. Man, the skin repair is amazing for when I get like these little abrasions on my skin, and you're always worried about like whether you're going to get an infection or not, or how it's going to heal. Skin repair, Evo Labs skin repair. Go check them out, evolabs.com. And then 2, their intensive salve. Okay. Again, this is for like a little bit of soreness after I train at the end of the day. Rub it all over, like especially like my upper back and my arms, then my legs. Love it. Again, evolabs.com. I do also like their Meditate. It's a CBD pen where, at the end of the night, it helps me calm down, go to sleep, especially after like intense training during the day. So those 3 products are 3 of my favorite products from Evo Labs. 1, the skin repair, 2, the intense salve, and 3, the CBD pen. The Gospel Fire also brought to you by Onnit, ONNIT. Go to their website and man, go check out their products. Code name is Eliot. You put in Eliot, ELIOT, and you will get 10% off all of your Onnit products. I personally like the Alpha Brain. That is my favorite product, and every once in a while I like to use their Shroom Tech as well. So those 2 products are my favorite from Onnit. So again, Evo Labs guys at evolabs.com and Onnit, ONNIT. Check them out. Thanks for the support of the podcast from those guys, and hell yeah, let's get after it. Hey guys, this is former UFC fighter Eliot Marshall, and this is the Gospel Fire, where we're going to go through the fire to learn how to live the best life possible. All right, guys, here we are. New episode, Gospel Fire. God damn, I'm here with one of my fucking longtime homies, Cody. What up, homie?
What up, brother?
Cody Donovan. God damn. How'd it take so long for us to do this?
Me and you, we like to get into it. So it's risky putting us on mics, We don't know. Who knows where it could go,
I don't have any fucking dumbbells in this office.
That's true.
That's good, right?
That's true,
That's good.
So you don't have to worry about dying today.
Fuck. So our friendship, we're friends. We're definitely friends. But it definitely has like, it's like a complicated thing a little bit, right? Like we were the same weight division. We're the same weight, yep. Right? And all that stuff. And that plays into, fighting's an emotional thing.
Sure. And the things that we tell ourselves to give us the confidence to fight can inadvertently affect others, you needed to be what you needed to be, and I needed to be what I needed to be, and we both couldn't be that at the same time. It's like I refused to be in some sort of like a little brother role, and you were, much higher ranked than me and had been doing it much longer than me, and probably deserved some respect for that, or some sort of like an older brother role. And I don't know. That's kind of the way I always looked at it, like 2 brothers just scrapping all the time,
Yeah, definitely. Without a doubt, I agree with you. Right or wrong, it's just what it is,
Yeah. Whatever.
And we're still friends.
Yeah.
How's that even fucking possible? Because all we did was punch each other in the face and fight, right?
Yeah. I don't know, man, but we are. Yeah. For me, I don't know. You're one of them dudes where I can see all his flaws and almost like him better for it. Like appreciate the struggle, appreciate the dude you're trying to be, and all that. That's always my thing with it. Like.
Yeah,
I see what you're shooting for, and I dig it. You know?
Yeah, I'm shooting. I don't think there's any reason other than to shoot high.
Yeah.
Shoot real fucking high.
Yeah.
But it's a tough thing, But let's talk about you a little bit. Your fight career, your journey in martial arts.
Sure.
What the fuck, man? How'd this even get started? And talk louder, please.
Sure. So martial arts, how did it start for me? It started early 90s, Hollywood Video, right? Hollywood, it was a video store that used to exist back then.
Shit. I remember fucking Hollywood Video.
Yeah, it was like the bootleg Blockbuster Video.
Yeah.
So me and my buddies rented a bunch of UFC videos and watched them. And
how old were you?
Early teens.
Okay.
And I wanted to be Hoist Gracie, dude. I wanted to be him so bad. But there wasn't a lot of jiu-jitsu in Colorado back then. I was like 15, 16.
So what year was that?
This would have been about 2015, 2016, somewhere in there. I'm sorry.
1995.
Yeah, 1995, 1996.
God, we got hit in the head.
Boom.
What the fuck? Are you all right?
See, I just jumped 10 years. Yeah,
you jumped 20 years. You said 2015.
95, 96.
All
right. David Ruiz was teaching jiu-jitsu back then. And I got hooked up with some of his guys when I was in high school and got to do a little bit of jiu-jitsu there, but my parents couldn't afford it. When I was 19 and I actually had like a steady paycheck, I started driving over to Colorado Academy of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. My main teacher was a guy named Brad Gum.
Oh, okay.
Remember Brad?
Yeah, I remember Brad. Yeah. Did he fight in the UFC?
He did.
He did a couple times, right?
He was the youngest UFC fighter for a long time.
Okay.
So I trained with him, trained with David Ruiz. The best part of this is when I went away to college, bro, I lived a mile away from Easton Training Center's Boulder. And I would deliver t-shirts. I literally delivered t-shirts to you one time.
Because you worked for Goodbye Blue Monday.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I didn't step on that mat. I was just like chasing chicks and getting drunk and talking about how good I was at jiu-jitsu. And I didn't know anything.
Did you meet me then?
Oh, yeah. Multiple times. Yeah.
As the Goodbye Blue Monday rep.
Yeah. So I met you dropping t-shirts off a few times. And then the only time you and I had ever talked, I was eating lunch and I was wearing a jiu-jitsu shirt and you just approached me and was like, what's up, man? You do jiu-jitsu.
All right.
Yeah. You were like, you should come in. Oh, yeah, I will. I didn't.
One of those. We get, it's all day.
Yeah. And then we met again years later, you know.
All right. Yeah. What made you get back into it, right? Like, how did you, you got back into it with Nate, right?
A breakup. It was a breakup. So I dated this girl in college and I was like really wrapped up in her. And I think...
You like Asian chicks. Was she Asian?
She was Asian.
Cody loves Asian chicks.
She was one of the first Asians. But it's not that I love Asian chicks. I just, I like my ladies exotic, right? But anyway, this... that was a relationship that like made me feel special for the first time, So when that one ended, all of a sudden, like I wasn't special, right? And I was looking for other things in my life that had made me feel important or that had gave me some kind of like good feeling. I needed some good feeling. And I went right back to jiu-jitsu. How did I meet Nate? I think I went to a fight. I went to Ring of Fire.
Okay.
And I met Nate in the crowd. He was literally like, yeah, you should come train at my gym. Something like that.
And this time you did?
Yeah.
So yeah, what's so weird to me, okay, and we disagree on this topic, obviously, I think, but like, what made you not come into Boulder?
Yeah,
right. Even though you were walking in there, I don't know, 3 times a year, 4 times a year,
sure,
right? But made you go into Nate's, like the timing of life.
I don't know,
right? Like the timing of life, like it's not like you weren't aware. It's not like you didn't know about it. It's not like it's something that you weren't into, but somehow like you weren't going at one time. And then like this other time you're like, oh, yep, now it's time.
I think I was intimidated by you guys. I think I was intimidated by that gym. I certainly wasn't at a point in my life where like I could afford to train. So, I mean, I knew that I was going to have to go in there and like grovel and ask if I could clean the mats and shit. I mean, there wasn't like, I was paying rent and paying for whiskey. That's what I was paying for back then.
Right.
And I was drinking too much
whiskey.
But
you could have kept doing that. Like, what were you doing? How old were you when you met Nate?
22.
Yeah. 23. So you were still doing the same fucking things, right? You were still paying rent and,
yeah.
And paying for whiskey. It just older. And for some reason it clicked.
I don't know. It makes no sense to me. Yeah. I ask myself that all the time. What would have happened if I would have started training at Boulder?
Yeah, I ask myself these questions all the time, like just of like why I chose one. Like I ask all the time why I choose one way, and like I've been faced with this decision before, and I made the bad one or like a different one, and now I'm making a new one.
Yeah.
And it's just like a lot of life. Like I think something in your brain, something that happened to you. I don't know what it is, but this is a big topic, especially on our thread. We have a thread.
Yeah, man.
Me and Cody. Cody's the last one of the sinners. We have a thread called Sinners. Does it say sinners for you too?
Yeah, sinners.
So because Scott and I used to have a podcast. It's called The Saint and the Sinner. I did with Scott Nickel. We did a podcast together. And we have this thread where basically we just talk. They basically just talk shit at me, and I talk shit back at them.
It's like it really is like the three of us.
Yeah, it's always the three of you. And even on argument, the only time I get fucking mad at you, bro, is when I know you agree with me on one of these topics, and you won't chime in, and I'm like, motherfucker, just come on, make it 2-2 even here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because I guess I would be the most in the middle in that group, right? I agree with me and you agree on a lot of
stuff philosophically. Yeah. We disagree on one thing.
Yeah, we disagree on one thing.
Yeah, that's it.
We disagree on like the not. I don't know about the existence, but like we disagree on Christ. Right?
We disagree on the resurrection of Jesus.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
And the working of miracles.
You don't believe in miracles? I didn't know that.
Oh, I don't believe.
I would say your life is a miracle, bro. Come on, man.
Yeah,
like,
but I don't believe in miracles. Like there's nobody that cured the poor. Cured the sick with a touch, or I'm just touching you. Sorry.
It's like I thought the cameras were on, bro.
Okay. So we just, I believe that miracles. Do I believe in miracles? What do you mean by miracles?
I don't know. I guess I would have to find the definition of a miracle, but I think a miracle is when God steps in and makes like the impossible.
Hold on,
let's
Google it.
Let's see what
let's see what Google says. What is the definition of a miracle? Definition. Fuck, I can't type. Of miracle. The definition: a surprising and welcoming event that is not explicable by natural or scientific laws and is therefore considered to be the work of a divine. Then I don't believe in miracles.
See, and that's I think that is one of the. I mean that would be a third place where you and I don't agree, right? Okay. I know that you believe in what can be proven, but I think there's a flaw in that because I think that means you automatically have to believe in what can't be proven because at some point when something new is proven, then you automatically believe in it. And I think that proof is just like proof is laughable to me. Like
don't say it's laughable. Bro, hold on. Don't say it's laughable because you want proof of a lot of things.
Yeah, but proof changes yearly.
Hold on. Why are you going to flick that light switch on right now if you want the lights to come on?
Electricity.
Yeah, why? You have proof that it works. We have proof that electricity is correct.
Fine, but how, dude? New theories come out on a weekly basis.
That doesn't mean they're right.
Oh, well, that's it now.
No.
If we look at the history of mankind and for like the chapters in which every one of us bought into one thing, and then every one of us bought into the next thing, it's. I know, but
that's what's beautiful about it is that we have to be able to change.
I mean, there are a couple of ways you could look at it. If you were to tell me that every society since the beginning of time has been telling the same story and you're not listening to it, I mean, that's kind of...
they've been telling a similar story, yeah.
Sure. So there's got to be some, there are lots of types of wisdom. Think about how foolish you could feel if at the end of the day, they're like, hey man, every society that ever existed was telling a version of that story and you just refused to believe it.
Did you see my post today?
Nah, I didn't. Did you read Daily Stoic today?
I did.
It was like spot on with your talk today.
I know. Yeah. I didn't even think about that, and that's where that's where I got it from. So my post today was from Bertrand Russell. I would never die for my beliefs because I might be wrong.
That's good. That's great.
But then I said, I will die for my children and I will die for my wife. My friends I would kill for, but my beliefs on the universe, no fucking way.
Yeah.
Because I could be so wrong, and I'm okay with that.
I was talking to a friend of mine at lunch last weekend, and he had recently done DMT.
Oh,
right?
God, I so want to do it.
And he said to me,
scared.
I was like, well, how was it? He's like, well, I'm not afraid to die anymore. Okay. That was what he said. He's like, I'm not afraid to die anymore. He's like, there is a really good chance that this is all just a simulation. And I was like, really? And he was like, yeah. And he didn't say much else on it.
Bro, I have an experience and not many people know this. I'm going to talk about it. I was waiting to talk about it with you.
Yeah.
I have an experience very similar to your Tunica experience.
Okay.
When I was in the heat of my anxiety, right? Like maybe one of the very worst days. I had woken up that morning and I had thought about, what it would be like to kill myself. Not that I was going to kill myself. Like I was not suicidal, but that thought was very real and very, very intense.
Yeah, man. What would it be like to shut the voices off?
Yeah, you know?
Turn the volume down.
So I was like, what the fuck? And that was scaring the dog shit out of me, like all day. Like I couldn't get away from the thought. And then like I was in the shower, we had to go to this wedding and I was fucking losing it in the shower, like really fucking losing it. I was like, okay, I just got to go do some meditation. Right. And I fucking laid down and my meditation was so intense, you know, that like I had that like experience, like that DMT like experience that people explain. Yeah. Right. Because your brain is tripping. My brain was tripping, you know?
Yeah. It can happen naturally.
It can happen naturally. Yes. We have it. We have DMT in our system.
100% happened to me.
You know? So, I mean, and like I literally like met something.
Me too.
You know? I literally met something.
Who did you talk to me? I want to know what'd they say?
Nothing.
Mine said the same thing again and again.
What did it say?
It said, "I am here."
Yeah.
But in saying "I am here," it was also implying that I was never not here. So it's kind of like it wasn't words, if that makes any sense. Like it was.
Oh, okay. So there's no words. Nobody talked to you.
No. There was no actual words. But what it communicated to me was, "I am here," and at the same time, I've always been here, and I will continue to be here, and I will always. It was I am here.
Okay, so I had a very similar experience.
It meant I am here, and it was this like infinite I am here, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, so I had a very similar experience.
Yeah.
Right? Like with the, you know, that's what they say when you do DMT, right? You go and you talk to the aliens.
Yeah.
You know,
It knocked me on my ass. You came back from down. So Eliot went down, for those of you who have never heard the story, which is all of you. Eliot went downstairs to gamble. I was cutting weight for a fight. My life.
You were just sitting in the room.
Yeah.
I had just gotten beaten up. And I was a terrible cornerman that week. I was good in the fight.
You were good in the fight.
I was good in the fight.
But you were dealing with your own stuff. That's okay.
I just got the fuck beat out of me.
We were teammates. It was good. It was fine. What was going on in my life outside of there was an unsuccessful fight career was catching up to me, right? Meaning that I was fighting well, but what was going on outside of my life was a freaking disaster. Like, owed money to everybody, had 100 girls that were pissed at me for eating all their groceries and never calling them back or whatever. Like, I was just a piece of shit.
Yeah, you couldn't keep your cell phone on.
I was a piece of shit, yeah. And the shame of being a piece of shit and just the condition of where my life was at and the stress of an upcoming fight and how much I was putting on winning and losing. Like, my whole identity was wrapped up in that. I was really mixed up, you know? And I found myself in there just kind of talking shit to God, basically. I was in there like, you know, because at the time I was an atheist and I was just like, you know, fuck you, God, I hate you. You're not there for me and all this. And then
you're not really an atheist at that point then, because you're talking to him.
That was the moment. I realized I was like, wait a minute, if I'm an atheist, who the fuck am I talking to? Right. And then it was like, bam. Dude.
So I've never said fuck you to God.
It was like a bomb went off, bro.
Right.
I don't know how I got on the floor, but I was on the floor at the end. And there was just something behind me. I couldn't look up at it. It was like too bright, too intense, but it said, I'm here.
Oh, so I had nothing. I didn't have any, I just had a feeling.
Yeah, mine was like a really warm blanket wrapped around me, and it was kind of standing over me. I think it was standing over my right shoulder, I want to say. I don't know.
Oh, so you had an actual thing there.
I don't know, man. Like, you know, like this, like you try to put it into words and say, oh, there was a dude standing in the room. That won't, I can't, there's no animation that could paint this. There's no, like, this couldn't be reconstructed with special effects and cinematography. Like, I don't think I was in my body. It was pretty intense.
So I had something, we'll just say we had a very similar experience.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And you landed on Jesus. I did not.
I didn't talk to Jesus that day.
No, I know, but where you got to from that experience was Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think we've all talked to Jesus. I think the problem is when he talks back.
If he's talking back,
he's talking back
to you. Yeah.
You know, I mean, I think everyone's talked to Jesus at some point, you know, whether you say fuck you or whether you say I love you or whether you say yeah, whatever. Who fucking knows? I don't know.
There are no atheists in a foxhole, right?
I disagree with you. I think there's plenty.
Yeah, you think so?
I think there's plenty.
You ever been in a foxhole?
I know, but you have reports of people that have and that have made it out and never prayed. Like that documentary Vertical Limit. It's how the guy said he knew he was an atheist, because he got stuck in an ice cave. Right,
and didn't have a conversation.
Didn't have a conversation with God. He's like, that's when he's like, I always wondered before, and like he said it didn't even cross his mind.
Man, that we would say that man has a hardened heart. That's what I would say.
Yeah, but he, maybe, maybe, but yeah, it was an interesting. It was that experience for me was a very interesting experience. I had clarity for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
Like my anxiety broke all day, all night. My anxiety broke.
That's awesome, right?
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, the thing that didn't change for me, even though I started looking for a relationship with Christ and seeking out some of my buddies that had that going on, the thing that has never changed is my dislike for Christians, right? So I find myself in this strange dilemma where
But you are one.
Well, I don't know if I define myself as that, man.
So then define one.
I would say that I am a follower of Christ, but I look at the people who believe in Christ. I look at the majority, and I don't want to stereotype. There's a lot of my friends are Christians, and I like those people. But most Christians drive me freaking crazy. I mean, you can take the greatest teachings, the greatest thing that I think ever happened to people, and then what? Then you decide that you're going to get some swords and some horses, and you're going to ride 1,000 miles and go kill everybody that doesn't believe that. I mean, humans are just automatically designed to fuck up good stuff, and it drives me crazy. It drives me nuts, man. I think it's impossible for us to follow a teaching that profound, because if we did, we'd all just get rid of all of our shit. That'd be the first thing. That's the part about Christianity that we all just want to ignore.
Right, it says no rich man's getting into heaven.
Give away all your stuff.
Yeah. No rich man's getting into heaven, right? So
I mean, I'm not giving away all my stuff.
You got to feed the babies.
Yeah, I trust Jesus with my soul, but I need some money for everything else. That sucks, man. But that's the reality of my life. I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to do it any better. I wish I could. I wish I could. You teach me how to not be obsessed with money, and I'll do it tomorrow.
Not be obsessed with money.
Dude,
are you obsessed? Do you think you're obsessed?
If I'm having a bad day, you know what makes my day instantly better?
What?
A big check.
Really?
Yeah, a big check. I think I have, I didn't grow up with much money.
Right.
So I think I have a constant fear that someday I'm going to be poor again. Yeah, it's one of the things I talk about with my counselor.
So I have this fear of Hitler.
A fear of Hitler.
Yeah, or Hitler again. Because that was my grandfather's and my grandmother's fear. Like there was always a way that we were getting out. Right? There was a plan to get out. Like my whole life was set. My whole life
had an escape.
There was an escape route. Because of Hitler. Because if we needed to go, we were going to go, and we were going to go really, really fast. So it's hard for me to get away from that fear. So I understand, and you need money for that.
Yeah. I know that money doesn't make
anybody happy. Yeah.
It doesn't.
Gives you a dopamine response though.
Yeah.
For you, it sounds.
And it makes me. And this is the other thing. This is how I know money doesn't make me happy. Because I have watched all of my bank accounts get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and it's never going to be enough, and nothing makes me feel any better.
Yeah.
So that just tells me.
I mean, I know what makes me feel better. The bank account doesn't make me feel better.
I would say don't ever expect from anyone or from anything what you can only get from God. I think I have a God-sized hole in me that can only be fixed with an authentic relationship that way. And I try to fill it with different things, and that's that's my struggle. Just like a bunch of other men out there, that's what I do. Constantly trying to, it's like a little kid trying to fit the triangle into the circle or whatever. And that's me every day.
Yeah. I mean,
I know we don't agree on this.
No, but
that's okay.
It's okay. It's similar though, right? I think we're going to call it enlightenment, right? Is what I would say.
Yeah.
I think the path to it is you, you're going to find it in yourself. And that's the only way, that's the only place that it can be found. It's not going to be found in any guru. It's not going to be found in anything outside of yourself. And we're all going to go about it a little differently, And I think, so that's where I get like when I get on you guys on the thread, the only thing that I really get on you guys about, and that, I mean, other than some bullshit, which leads to some other shit sometimes. But why does it have to be the way?
See, when I listen to you guys go back and forth on that, it's
talk louder.
I don't chime in. I just
listen.
You're
quiet. You never answer this question.
But dude, all I'm thinking the whole time is like, you guys are saying the same shit.
Yeah, of course we are.
You're all saying the same
thing.
It's like, it's so laughable to me because I'm sitting there watching it and I'm like, you're saying the same thing. You're saying the same thing.
Saying the same thing.
You're saying the same thing.
Well, I just don't understand how the Muslim has to die and go to hell. No, has to go to hell. Because they have the same experience that you and I had, right? There's a lot, like, we're not, come on, a lot of people have had this, like, spiritual experience in their life.
Sure.
So, like, and you landed on Christ.
Yep.
Mostly because you're born in America.
Yeah.
Right? 100%, right? Like, if you're born in Iraq, you're going to land on Muhammad. Most of the odds say, right?
Sure.
So, like, to say that one of you guys, or let's say there's three, right? There's you, there's me, and there's him.
Yeah.
To say that two of us, I guess I'm just fucked because there's no way I'm right. But to say that two of us are eternally wrong is odd to me.
That's one of my biggest struggles with it. It's one of my biggest struggles. It really is. But I believe that the man that said that was like right when he said it. I don't know if there's more to what he said. I don't know if like, me and Christian Allen were talking about this. Christian Allen's one of our other coaches, one of our friends. We were talking about this when we were in Russia just now with Alistair. And he was talking about how like Christ is a state and all this stuff. And I don't, and I was like, yeah, maybe. Like I didn't totally agree with everything that he said.
You can't talk. I love Christian, but God, if you go too deep with him, it gets fucking, you can't follow.
He just gets deep. He's a deep dude.
Yeah, and it's hard to follow sometimes.
He's a deep dude and he's passionate about what he's saying. And I think that the only way to God is through that authentic relationship. And so what if I don't know, man. I mean, those things were said and written down a long fucking time ago. You know what I mean? A lot can be. Hold on. Silence this thing. Yeah, I mean, it comes down to this. I believe what he said. I believe it. I believe it. And a very inconvenient part of that for me is that in order for me to believe that, I also have to believe that others are wrong. Because you know me, I'm not walking around telling other people they're wrong. But yeah, that is what it is. I know another one that you really struggle with is like, I've always heard you talk when you're arguing with Scott and them about like gay marriage and stuff, right? And that's a big one too. Man, I struggle with that one so bad. Like,
well, just the fact that homosexuality is a sin.
I really struggle with that because I have a lot of friends, I have a lot of friends who are gay, and I would never be able to look at them and say like, oh man, I mean, I wouldn't. They could tell me I'm sinning. I'd jerk off. That's sinning, right? And one thing doesn't weigh more than the other. But in order,
do you really think that that's sinning? You believe that?
I think it's when I do that, I'm unfaithful to my wife.
Really?
Yeah, I really do. I think that it does something in my psychology that puts space between me and her and our level of intimacy, 100%. And if you're struggling with intimacy and you're like staring at porn all the time, you are definitely not working towards intimacy. You're working in the opposite direction, in my opinion.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, that's something that I've just learned recently, right? Like I never thought that was anything. Like, oh, guys do that, whatever, right?
I mean, we've been jerking off since we were 14 years old, bro.
Yeah, sure, exactly. So as soon as we could.
Yeah.
Right? But recently it's something that I've started thinking about. Like if I want to be closer to my wife and I want to have like better intimacy.
Yeah, but it had to be a sin then too, when you were 14.
Sure.
Why? It's coming out. Like if you don't get it out, it's coming out.
I get it. Well, it'll come out while you're sleeping.
Yeah. It's coming out.
It does, right?
Yeah, of course. It did for all of us, right? But it's coming out one way or the other.
Yeah. I mean,
so why is it going to come out if it's a sin?
I don't know. And one of the things that I'm totally comfortable saying to you is I don't know.
Okay, well, I like this. I like the I don't know.
And you can, whatever. I mean, I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know.
So my whole thing is I just don't know.
The only thing that I do know is there are these teachings, and when I follow them, my life gets dramatically better. That I know,
but you don't follow all of them. We've already gone over that.
I suck, man.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm just a screwed up dude. I'm trying to follow all of them. I'm like, it's a path. It's a line I can't. it's a line that I try to walk and I can't walk it, and I try, and we're not talking about porn anymore, just so I can be clear. Like I don't have like, I'm not some porn addict or something, but I'm just talking about life in general, right? Like, yeah, man, there's a line, there's a goal, there's something that I could shoot at. And if I were hitting that bullseye, it's like everything in my life that is jacked up is usually related to this measurable distance from the way that he says I should be doing it and the way I'm doing it. And that line, that measurement is called what? Sin.
Sin.
Yeah, it's called sin. It's a term of measurement, right? And I like to think of it like that. I don't like to point fingers at people and talk shit to people, but I like to think that there was a suggested way to live and that I know I am not hitting that mark. And when I look at, does that make any sense, bro?
I mean, it's the religious way. It doesn't make sense to me, no.
But you're doing the same thing. You have like.
But I don't think there's one way. I'm not. My way's not the way.
Okay, I can see that. I could see
right.
I could see that.
Now look, like we can definitely get into like murders and stuff like that, right? Like because we can obviously see that that's not the way. Like just going around raping and pillaging. You know?
But you are the most Christian dude I know that doesn't believe in Christ. Like the way you live your life and your morals and your code and what you stand for, it's the same thing.
Well, I just don't think it's very Christian. I just think it's a good.
That was the wrong word then.
It's be a good person. Like so, like it's be a good person. It's simple.
Yeah, good. Yeah, the problem with good. That's the problem with good, right? Is like who defines good?
Who defines good?
Yeah. You and Scott were talking about that today.
Yeah, we've talked about it. Were we today?
Or maybe it was yesterday. Maybe I listened.
You listened to it today?
Yeah, so I get behind, bro.
Yeah.
Well, dude, I'll open up Voxer and there'll be 56.
Yeah, but for a while you didn't answer for a while, so you just get behind it.
And then I catch up all at once in a 5-minute Vox.
5 minute,
and give me shit. So
Cody sends 5-minute Voxers. If you guys don't have the walkie-talkie app Voxer, yeah, it's fucking intense. And if you're sending 5-minute Voxers, you're wrong. Like let's be clear here.
You're a narcissist.
Shut the fuck up, right? And then don't send 5 1-minute Voxers in a row. You send a minute to 2 minutes, and you let someone else talk.
Well, if you like the sound of your own voice, you got to be real careful with Voxer.
Yes.
I mean, it's like
yes, for
it's
sure.
Like staring in the mirror or something. Like
right? It's like staring in the mirror right before a fight, right? Like right before weigh-ins when you're just fucking shredded.
It's like staring in the mirror right after you got a haircut.
Yeah, and you're shredded. You're shredded, right? Oh, I shave this thing every once in a while.
Good.
I look fucking good. You just keep walking by the mirror.
Oh, listen to me. Listen to how smart I sound.
I'm so smart. Anyway, so look, this other thing that we do together is we run this fight team now.
Yeah.
Right? We run this fight team.
And we're running it well.
We're doing a decent job.
Yeah.
We're doing a decent job. We have a small group of fighters, and we keep it that way.
Yeah.
And we do our best to keep our egos out, and I think it makes me happy how we've gone about it.
Yeah, me too, man. And I mean, I'll even say this, wanting to be better at that relationship, wanting to be better at working with you in particular is one of the things was one of the driving forces in me just like wanting to grow as a man and learn more about why I feel like that when somebody says that, like the other day.
We did. Yeah, man, that was amazing the other day I mean, that's what I thought it was, but the fact that you like all in a minute, like or like 5 minutes, you like went through like the whole cycle of why you acted the way you did or why you responded the way you did.
You said something to me.
Right.
I perceived what you said as all I heard was you're stupid. Yeah. So I just got pissed. I said something back. I walked away and I was like,
let's fill everyone in. So this was the topic. Yeah, so we have a fighter, Austin. Why am I not Hubbard?
Hubbard.
Yep. Austin Hubbard got into the UFC and he's fighting an ADCC world champion. I'm already going to be there and Christian Allen's already going to be there.
Yes.
Normally, Austin has Curtis Blades in his corner, correct?
Correct.
And yeah, I mean, for like moral support. Yeah. But Curtis ain't really coaching.
No, he doesn't say anything.
Doesn't say a fucking word, right? So
background,
it's moral support, right?
Big and strong.
So it was brought to my attention that we were all going to be there. And then I brought it to Vinny's attention. I think some of the fighters talked to Austin about it as well. Yep. I'm not, of like, hey man, you might want to have Eliot or Christian come out with you because like another set of grappling eyes couldn't hurt.
Yeah. Exactly.
Right.
So so that was brought to me and it makes sense.
Right.
But it started to stir something like, well, actually Austin's response initially to me was, well, can't you do that?
Right.
And so the
truth is yes.
Sure.
Of course.
But that's not what it's about.
Right.
An extra set of eyes, particularly your eyes or Christian's eyes sitting in that third seat. What if you see something that I don't see? I'd rather have you 2 feet away or a foot away than 500 feet away back in Neil's locker room.
Where you can't talk about it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But we started talking and I said, and I was like, so what are you really getting at? Yeah, I pushed the issue right away.
Right.
And you said to me, well, we each have our expertise, and this particular area is an area where I think I have some valuable skills. And when you said that, what I heard was that I didn't have valuable skills there, right? What I heard was I just heard you kind of
calling you dumb.
Yeah,
you can't do this.
I'm going to be in the corner helping with this fight because you're stupid and you won't see these attacks coming.
It's so interesting how we do this.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's so interesting because I did the same thing with the Vinny thread. I went back and listened. I thought he said that I was a terrible leader. He never said that.
I know he did, and I was in the room.
Know,
yeah.
But he never said it.
I know.
He got close to like touching it.
He critiqued your leadership in certain areas.
Right.
Yeah.
But he didn't say I was bad. He never even said I was a bad leader.
Nope.
Yeah.
He didn't. Because you're not.
Right. But what I heard was, and because of something else that was going on in my life.
Yeah.
Right. Had nothing to do with that whole conversation. Yeah. It was this whole other thing in my life. And it's so interesting how we do that. I want to know. I wish
he was intense, bro. I was
intense.
sitting in the room. Like he was giving you some hard truth.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or some hard perspectives.
Yeah.
Whatever.
But I want to know how many times because I have that one exactly. Like I have that one nailed down to a button. Boom, there it is.
Yeah.
Right. I wish I could hit like rewind on some other things when, just like what you did. Right. Yeah. But you caught it, Yeah.
I came over and was like, yo, bro.
Yeah.
You're right. It would be great to have an extra set of eyes. When you said that, what I really heard was, Cody, you're stupid. I know that's not what you said. That's me. Right. It's
sure.
Because I read this yesterday. And then somebody said it too. It was weird. It's weird when something happens twice in one day. It was, we don't see things as they are. We see things as we are. Right.
That's a good one.
Yeah. And it's interesting.
Yeah. It's a good one. Right. Because where you were at that time and with the Vinny situation where I was, like on a totally unrelated thing where I felt like a complete failure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like just a complete, and I did fail. Like, let's get like on this other, I don't want to talk about the topic.
Sure.
It's too personal.
Whatever. Yeah.
But where I completely failed somebody, in my opinion.
Okay.
Whatever. So I was feeling that way.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I was just like, oh, well, fuck, here it is.
Yeah. That's it. Right. I mean,
I want to know how many times I do it with my wife.
It's probably a lot.
I mean, right?
I do it with, so this is the problem with things, or it's not a problem, but this is the hard part. Work had to come before me even knowing that stupid was something that offended me. I had to land on that as a word, right? I had to go talk to somebody and talk about different interactions and different things that happen in my life to get to a point where I realized that when someone makes me feel stupid or when I think that somebody is calling me stupid, that it is a trigger and it turns me into like fight mode, bro.
Yeah.
It makes me want to fuck somebody up.
Right.
And now I can hear that and it's interesting, bro, because I can hear it and it's like the dog that wants to, like, I don't turn into the dog anymore. I can reach down and pet it and be like, yo, man, I got this. You don't have to bite this fucking guy.
Right.
It's all good. And I'm learning about more of them. It's not just stupid. I have a few of these.
We all do, right?
It's cool. I mean, I'll just go say it. If you are not talking to somebody and trying to get, be a better person, if you're not sitting down with somebody once a week, every 2 weeks and learning about yourself and
not your buddy.
Yeah. If you're not doing that, you're full of shit, or you just don't want to get better. It's like the guy that tells me, oh man, I want to get better at jiu-jitsu. And you're like, well, how often are you training?
Twice.
Yeah.
Once.
Cool. Yeah. Cool, man.
You're not getting
Good
better.
luck.
Yeah. Have fun with that.
Yeah.
You know,
you got to get with somebody that's a professional.
I had this real interesting talk with my therapist yesterday because like she loves me, because I've been going 3 years now, but it's a different kind of love. It's a love that only fits in this relationship. Yeah. Like we're not having coffee.
Nah.
Like, I'm having a birthday party soon, right? Like, my birthday's in a couple months. Guess what? She ain't getting a fucking invite.
No.
You know? Because that would ruin it.
They're blur lines.
Yeah, that would ruin our love for each other because I fucking love her too.
Yeah.
Like when one of us dies, okay, I'll go to, like, I hope we go to each other's funerals.
Of course.
You know what I mean? Something like that. But we're not blurring lines of like of hanging out because then it's done. You know? Like your therapist, the person, what's the matter?
Why is my microphone so quiet?
No, it's not.
See how yours goes like big and mine's like...
We know I talk louder.
I don't know.
Go, talk scream.
Ah!
There you go.
Oh, yeah. There we go. Okay. That's work. Never mind.
All right, back to it. Yeah, so for me, therapy's a key. It's something I never miss. I go every fucking week.
Yeah. I mean, I had tried in the past and it sucked. It was just a bad connection. But I'm stoked that I've been going now.
Yeah, you have a lady?
Yeah.
You like her?
She's great, dude.
She's great, right?
Yeah.
Mine's the third most important woman in my life.
This lady is smarter than me and sees through my shit quick, bro.
Mine goes, can you say that again? And I'm like, fuck. I'm like, here we go.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Oh, God. God damn it.
It's good, though, man. You know, I mean.
Work.
What do you want to be?
Work.
Yeah, that's tough for us. When we were fighters, we could wake up every morning and we knew what we wanted to be. Mm-hmm. What do you want to be? You want to be a fucking champion. Right? What am I going to do today to get me closer to being a champion? And that's probably why I wasn't paying my bills and the rest of my life was in shambles, right? Yeah. Because that's what I was very focused on that. When you walk away from that, man, you got to like, what do I want to be? You got to sit down and ask yourself some serious questions. What do I want to be? Who do I want to be? And how do you become it? It's not as cut and dry as being an athlete anymore.
No, it's not. It's because tough. It's not champion. Yeah,
well, I want to be a champion. I want to be Cora's champion. I want to be Maeve's champion. I want to be Julie's champion.
Yeah, but it's not, of course, right? But champion, UFC champion is super easily defined.
Yeah.
What's Cora and Maeve and Julie's champion?
Fuck, right?
Right?
Who knows?
It's gonna move.
Yeah, I don't know what that looks like.
Right.
I just think I do.
Yeah, but you're dealing with another human, and it changes. Cora's champion today is not Cora's champion tomorrow. Maeve's champion right now. Yeah. Like, dude, come on. Maeve don't really fucking care. Give her the goddamn bottle. Yeah. Right? Like,
yeah. I just go, hi, baby.
But that's for you. Yeah, that's for you, right?
Yeah,
that's all you.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, so
exactly.
So the champion moves in life. You know, we were just looking at such a small little speck of life trying to be a champion. And I think actual champions that's what they do the best is they just they can just hone in. Not that we're not. I'm not saying you're not champion, right? But we weren't UFC champions, right?
Well, I wasn't.
They can just hone in on that and put everything else aside.
Yeah, I agree.
You know,
so I wasn't a great fighter, and even though I was focused, I was very distracted. Very distracted. I let everything distract me. So that's my thing now. And that's the thing I think I'm doing better now is I'm not letting the distractions get in the way of what I want now. Like I am. Obviously, we all are a little bit.
Yeah, but we fuck up. It's okay.
I do a much better job, I think.
It's an interesting. It's an interesting thing, right? Because like, I had a talk with my friend the other day, and she's like, man, I just want to be better. You know, it's like, the distractions don't go away.
No,
like the distractions keep coming. Like for me, like I still fucking am petrified every fucking night whether I'm going to sleep or not, and like I have to go through like this routine of like what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
And like, so it scares the shit out of me still.
Yeah.
So like to say that I'm better, I'm not better. I have a coping mechanism.
Yeah. I sleep well. I've always slept well. Thank God. That's a blessing. But yeah, me too, man. I have things like that in my life where I'm like,
it's called cognitive behavioral therapy.
Yeah.
Yeah. CBT, you know, where you're making cognitive choices to go a different direction. So, all right, man, I gotta teach a class. This is going to be a little shorter episode. Cody, you got to run to Bernier, get some MAT done.
Mr. Bernier is going to fix me up.
The Muscle Project. We're going to give a little shout out to Matt Bernier and the Muscle Project in Denver, Colorado. Just a free plug.
There you go, Matt. Don't say we don't love you, bro.
Love you, homie. Tell everyone, hey, man, I got verified on Instagram today.
Hey! There you go.
Lloyd got it done for me.
Yeah, sweet.
Yeah.
Lloyd's the man. I like Lloyd.
I like him so far.
Yeah.
I like everyone that I've dealt with at Ballinger Group so far.
Yeah, they're killers, right?
Yeah, they're and they
Jen.
Jen's
good.
amazing. Jennifer's amazing. Have you met Jeff yet? Jeff Frandazzo.
I only know Lloyd and Jen.
All right, so I Oren. I think I've met Oren. I don't know Oren that well. I haven't hung out with him at all. But I like I like everyone. They go about it pretty holistically.
Yeah.
They Lloyd and I have pretty honest conversations. About what can be done and what can't be done. So I really enjoy it.
I think he's great, man.
Yeah.
I got to hang out with him at Curtis's fight in Tennessee.
Yep.
And he's a good dude.
Yep, I agree. So, man, tell everyone where they can find you on social media, Cody.
Donnybrook Cody on Instagram. I don't really mess with Facebook or the rest of that stuff. It just kind of connects to my Instagram.
Right.
I mean, if you're looking for something exciting, it's not my page. I'm posting pictures of babies and people's, I'm just not that exciting of a dude anymore. But yeah, man, I mean, whatever, check me out. You can follow my journey, me trying to do this thing called life,
Whatever it is, right?
Yeah,
Whatever it is and wherever it takes us.
Yeah, for sure.
So, man, I just want to say, just so that I greatly appreciate our friendship.
Me too.
And it's something that is very important to me, and I know it's been difficult. It hasn't always been easy, right? It's just a work, right? It's just a work, man. So
yep.
I think we're doing well. I think we're doing much better at it. We're leading this team together pretty well, and it's not just us, right? I think we're doing a good job of having like 6 leaders, which is tough,
Yeah, we are.
But we're doing a solid job, So, man, I just want to say thanks, not just for doing the podcast, but thanks for being my friend.
Yeah, brother.
Appreciate it, man.
You got it, man.
All right. That's it, everyone. Check it out. Don't forget The Gospel of Fire for sale on Amazon. Go to my website, EliotMarshall.com, for all things related Eliot Marshall. And that's it, guys. And see you soon. All right, guys, thanks for listening to this episode of The Gospel of Fire. Don't forget to check me out on all of my social media at FireMarshall205. Again, at FireMarshall205. Go to my YouTube channel, FireMarshall01, that is, for YouTube, where you can follow. I'm making these videos 100K strong. That's the goal for the year. I want 100,000 strong listeners to The Gospel of Fire. So I'm trying to make a video a week so that you guys can follow along on my journey of how I go about my day, some things that I talk about, some things that I try to work on for myself. And then finally, don't forget my website, EliotMarshall.com, where you can get up to date with everything that has to do with me personally, The Gospel of Fire. You're going to find all about my book release, also called The Gospel of Fire, February 12th. It will be for sale on Amazon that whole week for 99 cents. So all that information at EliotMarshall.com. Thanks again for listening. Thanks to my sponsors, Evo Labs and On It. So that's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed the episode.